Beautiful, don't you think?
What?
The sunrise. Terrific.
Gravity, it's about two astronauts, George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, who are working on the Hubble when something happens. The audience is completely immersed in the music and sound effects of what's happening on the screen.
So in cinema, we kind of started with mono. The Jazz Singer was kind of like the first movie to introduce sound to audiences with motion pictures. And mono was basically a single speaker behind the screen. Then we progressed into stereo, where now we had 3 speakers behind the screen. So we had a left channel, a center channel, and a right channel. And we found that adding more channels was only adding an incremental benefit. The bang for your buck wasn't there. And that kind of made us go back to the drawing board and go, okay, well, what if we completely redefined it? And then from there, we introduced Dolby Atmos to the industry. We completely redefined how surround sound works.
With this format now, the entire theater becomes a soundstage. Now we essentially have speakers everywhere in the room, including on the ceiling.
You think of like a horror movie, and traditionally, like in a movie like that, you could then have the person trapped in the basement is hearing someone walking over the top of the floor, so they're hearing the floorboards creak and they're starting to panic. Because we can drive individual speakers. Now I can hear the door knocking just here in the corner of the theater.
Because it's in space, there's also no gravity. Everything is untethered. And that was the main challenge, was to get the sound to be untethered. But what we're doing is we're creating a set of instructions for the audio to be played in different speakers and different amplifiers. This is a graphic of what the sound is doing in the theater. So these are the 4 walls. Here's the screen. You'll see this stereo sound bouncing around in the room. And up here you'll see a graphic of how loud it is. We could pan the sound, move the sound around, and we could enjoy the freedom to put the sound anywhere in the room. That's what Atmos allowed us to do.
As humans, we hear sound naturally, and that's really what Dolby Atmos is doing. It's allowing sound to have that fluid movement that is something that we couldn't do with 5.1.
Movies are about theaters. They're not about computers, TVs, or iPhones. Something has to break through, whether it's the type of movies that are being made, or the way we make them, or the way they look and sound. We have to do something to distinguish the movie event from television. It is like going from a normal-sized theater to Cinerama or IMAX in picture-wise. Sound-wise, it represents a similar, a quantum, an order of magnitude. Better sounding, more sophisticated, and more options for a filmmaker.